Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about civilization. So we are a civilization. And in history and in the universe, in the stars or galaxies, there are ages. For example, stars will not be shining forever. There will be one time when stars will burn all their fuel and then go nova or or if they don't go supernova, they can just stars will let go of uh, their matter into space, leaving a nebula behind. There was also a time when stars did not exist, so every star had a beginning, and every star will have an end. Planet Earth is not something that will last forever. There was a beginning for planet Earth and the formation of the solar system. And there will be an end in the future. Well, but the end of the planet Earth is going to be millions and billions of years from now. I would say billions because even if the planet Earth turns into a complete dead desert, so like for example, let's say we get in a time machine and we go to planet Earth in the year 5 million. So this video was recorded in the year 2024. Well, let's pretend we get in a time machine and we go to the year 5 million. You come out of the ship and you look at the earth completely different. And honestly, the earth will still be around in the year 5 million. I just don't know what we're going to find in that future. Could it be that we're not going to find any humans in the year 5 million? Man, the Egyptian civilization began in the year 4000 BC. So that means that from 4000 to 2024, there has been about 6,000 years. Before the year 4000 BC, there wasn't human civilization. So 5 million years in the future, what would there be on this planet? Because the planet Earth will still exist for another billion of years. So when we talk about the end of the Earth, we probably talk about something else because the Earth is still going to last a long time. But there's a time for each thing. Millions of years ago, this planet was filled with reptiles, dinosaurs. And millions of years before that, and it was a different type of animals and stuff like that. And then millions of years ago, so everything changes. This planet Earth has been a feeder for lots of events, and humanity is in a stage right now, and we're watching this situation, right? So we're watching mankind on stage, but then everything has ages, has a time for everything, and same goes for civilization. To be fair, Human civilization began around 4000 BC, so 6,000 years ago. Within human civilization, there were civilizations within civilization. Like, for example, we had Egypt, we had Babylon, we had Samaria, we had Persia, Greece, Rome, we had Europe in the Middle Ages, so forth. There are ages. Could it be that all of these civilizations can be condensed into one thing called human age? So there was the age of the dinosaurs. There was the Precambrian, the first living forms in the earth, right? Which life began in the ocean and the water, and then life moved to land while still remaining in the water. So there was an evolution. Everything begins one way and then evolves over time. In the grand scheme of things, humans exist on a very narrow length of existence in all of since the Big Bang, since the beginning of the Earth, because the Earth exists for billions of years. The humanity as we know it began in 4000 BC. Human, the biological human, actually began a couple millions of years ago. Um, so for the most, if we stop the clock in 2024, for most of the time in human history, we were not in any civilization. So I don't know exactly what happened in the year 4000 BC because that's when all of a sudden we had a pyramid in Egypt. So things all of a sudden change, and I don't know why, but before then, um, there's some indication that there was an agricultural revolution 10,000 years BC. But anyways, long story short, we are living in a human age off planet Earth. But there's got to be a plan for our existence in the future. Because in the same way that people are born and then they die, in the same way that stars are born from nebulas, they shine for billions of years, depending on the star too, temperature, size, and so forth. And then after billions of years, the star exhausts its fuel and it's no more. Then we have another nebula and so forth. Even possibly the universe as a whole began 13 billions of years ago. Maybe, we don't know. Because the James Webb Telescope is seeing some strange things. We are seeing from observations of space inconsistencies with our Big Bang Theory. So that means that just proves that we still have lots of progress to make in astrophysics. But one thing that is known for sure is that there's a time for everything. And everything comes and goes. Every human being in the past, what are they now? Just dust, right? So, and what were they before? They were somewhere, right? Energy. Dust, from dust to life, and from life back to dust. Conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transformed. That means that we were probably energy. We were some form of energy in the age of dinosaurs. Potential to one day leading to humans. And this energy became us, and in the future, everyone goes back to energy. When the leaves of a tree fall on the ground, the leaf dies. Or maybe it fell because it was already dead or dry. And then that leaf decomposes and it's turned back to dust. That dust is energy that is absorbed by the soil, which then is used to create new life forms. Let's say that this dust becomes the origin of new plants, plants that are eaten by animals. So that's the flow of energy. Things transfer. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transformed. So civilization is the same way. I'm not, this can apply to anything, but there's a time for everything. There's an age, and there's a new age, and a new age. So what will be here on Earth 5 million years from now? Will the Earth be a complete desert? Waterless world, just like Mars. Well, I'm sure that if you go to Earth 5 million years from now and you dig the ground, that desert, you might be able to find the remains of what was here in the past. Now, I don't know if the Earth will be a desert in the future. Actually, I don't know anything about the future. I don't. We should just believe in what science says, right? Because when you look out in space, most of everything's a desert. The moon is a desert. Venus is a desert. Mars is a desert. The moons of Jupiter and Saturn are barren deserts. And then you build a huge telescope to look at worlds and other stars with lots of expectations, and they're just deserts. Oh, so that means we are very, very lucky then, because Earth is not a desert. We are at this Earth is actually very rare in the universe. Even if there are 7 planets with life in a galaxy, there are 200 billion stars in a galaxy. So trying to find 7 planets among trillion of worlds is insane. Oh, look, there are 200 billion stars in a galaxy. So my challenge to you is this. In these 200 billion stars, 7 of these stars has 1 planet with life. So that means 7 planets with life. Go look for it. And you're like, wait, how many stars are there? And then you say 200 billion. And then you go, no, that's crazy. I mean, where do I start? And then you say, well, you can maybe start at that edge of the galaxy. But then you say, look, I'm going to be looking for these 7 worlds all my life and I'm not going to find it. because there's just too many worlds to look for. So I have to say that it's, I do believe in a possibility that there are worlds with life, but finding them is not likely. Could I be wrong? Yes. We need some more data or observation, but and then you go and say, where are the aliens? Where are the extraterrestrials? I don't know. Are there any in the universe? Um, because think about it. If the extraterrestrials are dinosaurs, that's no help. They don't have radio technology. If the extraterrestrials are cavemen, no help. They don't have radio technology. How are they going to communicate with us? Oh, I found some extraterrestrials. What are they? Bacteria. Okay, I'm in the same way. So we exist for millions of years, sort of thousands of years of civilization. Radio technology just a century. Most likely, if there are only 7 planets with life in our galaxy, it could very well be that none of the seven, except the Earth, well, if we include the Earth, it's eight, right? So let's pretend Earth would be the eighth. So none of the seven has, let's pretend all seven have life, but none of the seven has intelligent life, or we can even pretend there's one that has intelligent life, but these people are tribal cavemen, and they are located in the other side of the galaxy, right behind the center of the galaxy, and we cannot see the other side because you know that the nucleus of the galaxy, the center of the galaxy, prevents us from seeing the other side, right? It's a lot easier to find planets where you have less things on the way. So, long story short, there are ages, life is rare, things come and go, Earth in the future, most things are deserts. Before the end of the Earth, science has already proven that the Earth will have turned into a desert because near the end of the life of the Earth, the sun will have gotten so big that there's no way water would remain on the Earth. And this place would be scorching hot. Um, anyways, so the future is in fact a desert. Humans just happen to be accelerating the world into that direction. Ironically, if ironically, if it wasn't for the Industrial Revolution, if we were still in the Middle Ages, even though we would not have cell phones or internets or computers, for the Earth, it would have been better. Not maybe, I don't know if it would be better for humans. Because the Earth, you can think of the Earth as a living being, right? Or something like that. When all of these scientific evolution began, the Earth began a process of dying. But then you say, oh, whatever, climate change, I don't believe in, and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. I agree with you that that's not something that will kill us next year or 2 years from now. But I think the population in, is it normal to have a trash on on the Pacific Ocean that is bigger than the state of Texas floating on the water? Is that normal? We are literally not caring for our planet. And then you can argue, oh, whatever, because um, I'm not worried about it, some people might say. Okay, what if you were a fish on that water? Or how many turtles get stuck on that debris? How many animals die because they ate something that they shouldn't on something man-made? How many animals fall on traps made by humans? For example, um, let's say we have a fish swimming in the water, and then the fish sees this really interesting thing and eats it, but it's actually plastic, and it does the fish harm. Stuff like that. There has never been the biodiversity of the earth is also going down. So the age of humans on this earth is the age that we see now. I even suspect that the desertification of Africa, like, um, because humans, the human being began in Africa, right? And there's a desert there. I wonder if the early humans burn a lot of trees there as part of their evolution. Just think we were hunting and gathering, and fire was a new invention, and we kept burning things. So there's like, if you look in Africa, there are savannas, or some people say it's the opposite. The region became a desert over time, and the apes became humans because they had to think in order to survive the climate change that made us intelligent. So either way, um, with regards to civilization, we should have a plan for the future. And I'm going to say one thing. If you are someone with a fair mind and you are a scientist observing the world, are we living in a very, are we living in a system, in a civilization that is indicating prosperity in the future? Like, oh, in 20 years, things will be great because I see this happening. Is that the situation today? And you go like, I'm actually seeing the opposite. So, because everything scientifically has to be proven and observed and then so forth. So this is why education is extremely important for the future of humanity. And unfortunately, education is needing a lot of help. If we really want to build a brilliant world in the future, if we really want to go to Mars or the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, or build satellite cities around the Earth, or, if it's too hard to go to Venus because it's extremely hot in Venus, nothing prevents us from building an international space station around Venus. We're not going to land there, we're just going to orbit it. Same thing in Mars. We have Mars. Let's say we're struggling to land on Mars. Just build something in orbit of it. That's already something big. Oh, country so and so built a satellite in orbit of Mars, and there's people living there. And the world will go, wow. Yeah, fine, we never landed on Mars, but at least we're orbiting it, and there's people in that satellite. And then 20, 30 years later, after these people in the satellites are obtaining resources from the Earth and sending robots to Mars, they realize that they're now capable to land on the red planet, and they eventually do. But no, we actually want to land there first without putting something in orbit, or we're trying to go to Mars, even though we're not even sure if we can land on the moon again. Isn't that crazy? Oh, I cannot climb a tree, but I will climb a building. No, no. My suggestion, if you cannot climb a tree, you will not be able to climb a building. If you can't go back to the moon, you will not go to Mars. That's it. No way. So, now, civilization is a question that leads one to ponder. In the next few videos, I'll explain about knowledge and civilization and how and about education, how important it is to invest in the people, since we are experiencing the need for a new order, a new form of education. And ironically, I don't even think there is a problem with our philosophy of education. I think there's actually a problem in applying it. Because I think everything we learn about how education should be seems fair, but it's not actually being applied, and that's the issue. Thanks for watching.